Hello everybody, this is Paul at VirginiaLandowner.com, and today we're going to talk about price. The price is the biggest factor in selling a property, and of course it all comes down to a negotiation to decide what is a fair market value. Now, price is a very, very complex factor, especially in some markets because a lot of things that affect it. And it's very important for a professional to look at your home and to study the market and what they know about other properties that have sold recently and determine a price. We can't determine exactly the price that it will sell because let's say if we're talking about a $200,000 home. Well, $200,000 home, if you put it on the market, it may get an offer of $190, or may even get an offer of $170, depending on who's offering and what they feel they can afford. So, what a realtor will try to do is try to get the price down. Let's say, for example, we're roughly in the ballpark around $200,000. Now, if you want to sell your home fast, then naturally you're going to want to have a little bit of better price on it because as long as you hold on to that home, you're going to be paying the taxes, and you're also going to be paying the maintenance and upkeep and insurance and so on. Plus, it may delay your moving. So, if you really, really want to move and you need to move, then you're going to have to consider taking a lower price. But the good news is that it'll sell faster, and you can get on with your life. Now, a lot of people, let's say, for example, a figure of $10,000. Let's say you had a house that was You hope to get $200,000, and someone comes in with an offer around, say, $190. Well, then you could come back and say, well, okay, let's split the difference and go for $195. Well, let's say that customer says, well, I'm not going to pay $195. I'll go $191 and no more. If you start looking at it, that $3,000 or $4,000 difference, and say, well, what's that going to accomplish? First of all, I got to deduct my maintenance and whatever mortgage that I got to pay while I'm waiting for waiting for another buyer. So it adds up, and next thing you know, that $4,000 or $5,000 difference between the offer that you receive and what you ideally would like to get for the home, it starts to get down to a really small amount because look, in the big picture, let's get out here and on with our life and cut the deal and make it happen. See, so think carefully about your openness to the pricing. What a realtor does, we don't get paid until we sell a home, and that takes a lot of work. It can take months to sell a property. One time it took like 7 months. It could take. So during that time, there's a lot of activity that happens and showing homes, and then when it gets close to someone making an offer, now you have to start inspecting the home and doing all those things. So it's a good idea to have your home all ready, and then it's more attractive to a buyer as well, because then the buyer is saying, hey, I don't mind paying a little bit more because I got a house that's in great condition, is move in, boom, bada boom, okay? So when it really comes down to, a realtor is going to say, hey, I really think that in this market, you're going to get somewhere between, let's say in a $200,000 home, we've tried to get a price to list it as that's really close to the ballpark. Let's say we start, okay, $199.5. Well, it's great. It's under $200,000. It's only $500 under $200,000. You see, so you put the price in when people search. Okay, I want to have a house under $200,000. Well, if you put it at $199, it's going to pop up there on their searches. So what you do is you work together with the realtor and say, look, this is what I really like to get. And some people really do have a firm limit on what they need to get, because if they don't get a certain amount, they just can't afford to move and so on. So, or maybe they can't find a home because they got to move to a place where the homes are more expensive than the one that they're leaving and so on. So think carefully about how fast you want to sell the home, how ready it is to be sold, and that how quickly you need to move, because even once you get an offer, an accepted offer, it can take another 30 days to do all the inspections and get all the financing and all the little things arranged. So if you have any questions about a price, don't just look in the book, and say, hey, the guy across the street sold his house for X dollars and therefore my house is worth that. It's not true. And it may have been a totally different time. So as far as one rough guide that analysts use, realtors use, is the square foot. Let's say, for example, there's a 2,000 square foot home. Well, there's it's a very, very rough guide. It's different in every market, but these are just rough numbers. But you can go on the market and look at houses that have been sold, and let's say the average square foot was like $129 per square foot. So a $200,000 home, we're going to go, a 2,000 square foot home would maybe roughly in the $200,000 range, or if it's $130 a square foot average, then you're going to be talking about quite a bit more. So if your home has a really, really great value, like fantastic floor, woodwork, and everything's top-notch, and then you can definitely ask for a really strong price. And you just wait till someone says, hey, this is the price, because there's certain kinds of financing companies that require, and certain loans and mortgages that require really high level of quality and readiness and no problemos, you see. So if you want a fast deal and you need to go fast, then lower the price, and by all means, regardless of higher price or low price, you definitely want to get the home very, very ready. So if you have any questions, ask a realtor to come by. I go and do evaluate homes as a courtesy because I like to help people sell their home. But naturally, if I try to give them some help, I hope that maybe they'll value my help, and someday they'll use my services. But I don't require that anybody I do a home listing, a home evaluation for, buy or sell with me. I like to help people. This is my business, and it's very rewarding. So if you have any questions, ask a professional to come by and take a look at your home. Don't just go on to Zillow or one of those sites and do a real cursory search for the prices of homes in your neighborhood. It gets a little more complicated than that when it really comes down to it, because you might have a basement that's finished, or you might not have a basement that's finished. You might have a great home, but the water heater is on the verge of going, or the furnace is old, or the roof is old. So there's things that you can negotiate with on a final purchase price, but if you want to be in a strong position, make sure your home is really ready and in good condition, and then you can ask for that high price and hold on to it. Otherwise, you're going to end up negotiating and probably end up with a lower price. But it's just, the main thing is just to be realistic about what you expect from your home. So thanks again for listening, and I hope you watch some of the other videos about different aspects of this business.